Good day, students. The eighth unit begins with the Paham and the Bashkirs, along with the chief, reaching a hillock. Hillock is a small hill, a higher place, and before the hillock, there is a plain. And the chief tells Pahom and stretches out his arms towards the plain and tells him that as far as his eye can see, and whatever land his feet can cover, all of that land could be his. And the chief then takes off his fox fur cap and places it on the ground and tells Pahom that the fur cap would be the mark from where he would start, and before the sun sets, he would have to return back to this mark. And whatever land that he would be able to cover would be his. Pahom is very excited and he takes out the 1,000 rubles from his pocket and he places it on the cap, surrendering the money in exchange for the land. Then he carries his bag of bread, his flask of water, and gets ready to go on the journey. He decides to go towards the rising sun. The direction that he decides to walk in is towards the rising sun. And he waits there, and as soon as the sun appears at the horizon, the rim of it, he quickly starts his journey. And he carries a spade over his shoulder, uh, that as he covers the land, he would dig holes over there and place turf on it to mark the territory. So, after he had gone about 1,000 yards, he digs a hole, he places turf, and he keeps moving on. And as he moves on, he looks back and he sees the hillock becomes smaller and smaller, and at a point of time, the people over there standing on the hillock almost look like ants, but he keeps walking. And as he walks, the day becomes warmer, and Pahom is so excited that he doesn't even stop to think of having breakfast. He keeps walking, and as he walks, he realizes that since it's getting hotter and hotter, he takes off his outer jacket and he just wears his shirt that is there and trousers. And then there is a point where he begins to grow tired and the sun becomes hot and he decides that he needs to rest. So that's when he takes out some bread and he drinks some water, but he does not rest because he thinks that if he rested, he might fall asleep. And if he fell asleep, then he would lose precious time and not be able to cover as much land as he wanted. And he thinks in his mind that it is just a few hours that he has to suffer, but then he would be happy for life. And this is where we all make a mistake. And if we look at our lives, we see how people are running after money. There is no end to greed. They think that they will reap the benefits of all the hard work, all the slogging that they are doing from morning till night, thinking that they'll reap the benefits later. But they don't know there is a God above, and tomorrow is very uncertain. And when they suddenly lose their lives, it makes one realize that how their life ended without having time to enjoy that life with family, friends, and be contented with what one has. And this story, the moral of this story, through this story, the author is trying to tell us how greed destroys man. So Pahum is not resting, he's not eating, he's not doing what he's supposed to do, but he's just running after this land. So he goes in this direction, and he keeps moving forward, and he thinks in his mind the different crops that he would sow. So he says, he decides that this particular land would be favorable for this particular, so he keeps covering all those lands. And at a certain point he also realizes that maybe this land is going not going in a straight squarish or rectangular way, so he needs to make it straight. So he goes a little, mm, a few more extra miles, and because he wants his land not to be lopsided, so he hurries back in a straight line. But at the same time, he has to see in his mind that he does not go too far. Uh, but Pahom hurriedly keeps digging holes, and at the last point, he sees that he has covered enough land, and now he should move in the direction of the hillock. This is his last phase of the journey, because the sun is has reached more than midway, is not far from the horizon, and he has to cover that distance before sunset. So now he moves towards the direction of the hillock from where he had started. We'll continue next time.